So how is the video? Cover my chest or my face?
I think the video's been great. Of course, he used the two different ones.
You know where I'm talking about. Here the
Yeah,
synagogue.
right,
So
yes.
you should take this one. Why not? And I want to say, Pastor, focus on me, but it's not nice to say that.
No, it's true. Well, although you usually tell him what to do, so it works.
I should ask him,
Is the bathroom up there?
you will go up to the kiosk and the bathroom nearby.
So you found your way to Jerusalem. Well, I want to take you back to the darkest night of my life. Where we are here is a courtyard of Caiaphas the high priest. In just a little bit, you'll see actual steps that date back to the time of Jesus. That night began in the upper room. We had all been arguing amongst ourselves as which one of us was the greatest. There was so much tension in the air, you could cut it with a knife. Jesus had it all prepared before us. And then coming in, we were all embarrassed because we saw what Jesus was doing. He took off his outer garment and he girded himself with a towel, and one by one, he took off our sandals and he washed our feet. All of us, we're worried about, I'm more important than you. But Jesus, on that night of all the things, he's going to do it. When he gets to me, I said, no, Lord. You'd think by now Lord, you can't say those two words together. You're never going to wash my feet. And Jesus looked at me, and as he had often looked at me, he said, if I don't wash you, you have no part of me. Well, you got to know me. You know what I said? I want to hold that then. Because I want to tell you, I honestly, truly always wanted, from that moment that Jesus called me in the boat, and I left everything to follow him, I honestly wanted to follow him. I honestly wanted everything that he had for me. And he said, no, you don't need to be washed. He said, you're all clean but one. We were looking at each other. We spent the last 3 years together. What on earth could he be talking about? We washed him. He washed Judas's feet. Then, after he addressed himself, he said, do you realize what I've done for you? If I, your master and Lord, have served you in love, and then he said something. Blessed. You know what blessed means? Oh, how happy. On this particular night, when he's carrying the weight and the love for all the world, when he knows what he's going to have to face, he's talking about how we can be happy. And the only way that we can be happy is not by taking things for ourselves. You can gain the whole world. But if you lose your soul, what good did that do? Happy are you if you do this. That night, we were sharing Passover. We'd shared Passover always. I grew up every year sharing Passover. Every year coming to Jerusalem, every year bringing a lamb that's perfect, without spot or blemish, to be able to share together in a Passover, and there we are all together. We're all reclining on our left hand. We're eating with our right hand. The disciple who Jesus loved, you guys all know who that is, right? John was right next to him. And then seated in the seat of honor was Judas. I want you to know something. Jesus knew everything, because later on in the meal he would tell us that one was going to betray him. That night, nothing took Jesus by surprise. He knew exactly what was going to happen. And even though he knew exactly what was going to happen, he knelt down and washed Judas's feet, knowing where those feet had been. He took bread and broke it. Take, eat, this is my body which is broken for you. Then he took the cup, the special cup, the cup that was reserved. He said, drink from it. It is a new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you. Judas had already left. We saw Jesus whispering to Judas. We would find out later what he said. Because, my friends, Satan had entered Judas because Judas had allowed him to enter him. Jesus even put him right next to him. Do you realize all he would have had to say was, "Hey guys, Judas is going to betray me." What do you think we would have done? Yeah, Judas would have never got out of there alive. He who dips his hand in the bowl with me. It's a symbol of oneness. And then later on, I would find out, because none of us knew that night, even when Judas left. Thought Jesus sent him on a mission or something. None of us would have ever guessed it was Judas. You realize Judas was an officer. He was our treasurer. We trusted him. And later on, we would find out at that moment that Judas, knowing full well what he was about to do, Jesus said, "What you're about to do, go and do quickly." And Satan entered him at that moment. We would find out later where he went. To betray Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, that's the price of an ordinary slave. Really? 30 pieces of silver. We would later find out right over here. Right here, you can see it right through across this little valley here. Judas, filled with remorse, not repentance, hung himself. The branch on which he hung himself broke, and he fell headlong down, and he split open. It's a field of blood to this day, and it became a potter's field cemetery. So Judas is gone. Jesus is breaking bread with us in the upper room. And then you know what we did? We sang a hymn. Let's sing one verse of Amazing Grace, because that's what we sang. We sang a hymn. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. We celebrated the Passover right up here. We walked all the way down into the valley. You see those gold domes over there? Just on the other side of that. There was a garden. Jesus had rich friends. In Jerusalem, there was a person who had a private garden. We often went there. Every single one of us knew where that garden was because we had often gone there with the Lord. And Jerusalem's teeming with people. It's Passover. There's a gigantic full moon. You can see all the way. When we started walking, you can see all the way across there. We go into the garden, and I've never seen Jesus look this way before. He picked myself, James, and John. He had picked us before. Do you realize I got to see Jesus transform before my very eyes? Do you realize I saw it with my own eyes? Jesus become glistening white. I saw Moses and Elijah. I saw the dead raised. I saw the lepers healed. I saw the lame walk, the dumb talk, the blind see. I saw it all. And then Jesus looks at the three of us and he said, "Come watch with me." It was rare Jesus ever asked anything of us. He wanted us to come, and he asked something of me on that night. Would you pray with me? And you know what I did? I fell asleep. After all that I've seen and after all that I've been a part of, I fell asleep. The next thing that I knew, it was Jesus. Could you not even keep watch with me for 1 hour? For once, I kept my mouth shut. Because there wasn't anything to say. What could I say at that moment? I'm going to pray. I'm not going to let my master down. I don't know how much time passed by. But the next thing I know, you know what it is? He's waking again. Could you not even keep watch with me? I had told Jesus that